The situation of the Ukrainian Army and NATO forces continues to deteriorate rapidly along the entire combat contact line. It is reported that the Russian army has achieved significant success in all key areas of the front over the past 5 days. The Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation also officially confirmed this fact. In particular, a few hours ago, the Russian Defense Ministry officially announced the liberation of 2 strategically important settlements in the Kharkiv region and the Donetsk People's Republic. We are talking about Zagryzovo, in the eastern part of the Kharkiv region, and Ivanovka, located in the northwestern part of the Donetsk People's Republic. Simultaneously with this, on December 28 at 5 p.m. Moscow time, war correspondents also reported Russian troops liberating the strategically important settlement of DACHENSKOYE, south of the city of Pokrovsk. It is reported that the liberation of this settlement allowed the Russian army to fully align the offensive battle line south of Pokrovsk and create a fairly powerful bridgehead along the entire line, connecting settlements such as Shevchenko, Vozdrozhdeny, Lisovka, and Dachenskoye. Against this backdrop, the Ukrainian army units have completely lost the ability to strike at the flanks of Russian troops in this direction of the front. By the way, in Pokrovsk itself, the Ukrainian military stated that the Russian army began regularly shelling the positions of the Ukrainian troops in the southern, central, and even northern parts of the city. According to them, starting from December 26, Russian artillery and combat aviation have been striking the city non-stop. All this indicates that the Russian army is carefully preparing to storm this strategically important settlement. Many military experts expressed confidence that Russian troops would launch an assault on Pokrovsk immediately after the Russian artillery and combat aviation took under fire control of all supply routes for the Ukrainian garrison in the city. Representatives of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation also commented on the situation in the Kursk region. In particular, they officially stated that over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian army had lost 500 soldiers, 6 mortars, 7 pickup trucks, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, and 1 American Abrams tank in the Kursk region. It is reported that in just 5 months of fighting in the Kursk region, the Ukrainian army lost 45,000 soldiers, 340 artillery pieces, 1,300 pickup trucks, 1,400 armored fighting vehicles, 150 armored personnel carriers, 230 infantry fighting vehicles, and 260 tanks. According to war correspondents, as of December 2024, the Ukrainian army had lost 70% of the controlled territory in the Kursk region. At the moment, only 800 square kilometers of territory are under the control of Ukrainian troops. It is reported that almost every day the Ukrainian army loses its positions in this Russian region. Against this backdrop, the Bloomberg news agency, citing its own sources in the White House, said that the Russian army would completely knock out units of the Ukrainian army from the Kursk region in the next 8-12 weeks. Moreover, an unnamed source in the White House also told reporters from Bloomberg that against the backdrop of the successful advance of the Russian army in all directions of the front, Moscow is likely to delay the negotiation process with the Trump administration in order to take control of as much Ukrainian territory as possible. The White House is confident that the Kremlin will agree to start negotiations with Kyiv only after the Kursk region is completely liberated, and the entire territory of Donbas, including the adjacent settlements of the Dnipropetrovsk region, will come under the full control of the Russian army. At the same time, representatives of the Biden administration admitted that only thanks to the permission to fire Western long-range missiles deep into Russian territory, allowed the Ukrainian army to stay in the Kursk region for more than 5 months. Meanwhile, on the night of December 28, the Russian aerospace forces, together with missile forces, launched another bomb and rocket attack on military installations in Ukraine. It is noteworthy that this bomb and rocket attack was carried out immediately after a meeting between General Valery Gerasimov and representatives of the military intelligence took place at the Russian General Staff. Insiders report that during this closed-door meeting, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, General Valery Gerasimov, listened to a report from military intelligence representatives on the identified secret places for the deployment of active-duty NATO officers, who launch Western long-range missiles deep into Russian territory. It is reported that as soon as representatives of military intelligence left the General Staff building, the Russian armed forces dealt a crushing blow to military facilities located in the territories of such regions as Kiev, Zaporizhia, Sumy, and Kharkiv. So, in the Kiev region, Russian ballistic and cruise missiles hit and destroyed several weapons depots in such settlements as Borispol, Bila Tserkva, Yagotina, and Obakova. It is reported that Western ballistic and cruise missiles were located in these weapons depots. In the Zaporizhia region, in the southwestern part of the city of Zaporizhia, Russian missiles hit and destroyed a local enterprise that was repairing damaged heavy equipment of the Ukrainian Army. In the Sumy region, Russian guided aerial bombs of the Fab family hit several targets, where the Ukrainian High Military Command was pulling heavy equipment for its subsequent transfer to the Kursk region. And finally, in the Kharkiv region, the Russian military prevented the launch of American ATACMS ballistic missiles deep into the Kursk and Bryansk regions. In particular, it is reported that Russian intelligence managed to determine the exact location of the place for the deployment of NATO officers, in settlement of DERGACHI, northwest of Kharkiv. We are talking about an abandoned building of one of the local enterprises. Immediately after that, this building was razed to the ground with the help of Fab 500 guided aerial bombs. Later, sources in the Russian military department said that as a result of this attack, 15 officers of the Ukrainian Security Service and 5 officers of the British Army were destroyed. It is reported that these active-duty NATO officers planned to launch a missile attack on the Kursk and Bryansk regions on December 31st. However, thanks to the professional actions of Russian intelligence and the aerospace forces, this treacherous attack on New Year's Eve was stopped in time.